Plaintiffs James Carter and his wife Wendy say Wendy has known the defendant since high school, and he is a known drug addict. Wendy claims the defendant worked for her, and they rented their auto garage to him. But she's suing him today for electric bills, rent, and late fees. Defendant Robert Hanstein admits that he was addicted to methamphetamines, but insists he's been clean for 10 years. Robert admits that he stopped paying rent, but he claims it was because the car lift broke and the plaintiffs refused to fix it.
Start with you.
We've known Rob since high school. He's a known drug head, been on and off drugs all his life.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, sir, I was. I've been clean for almost 10 years now.
Okay, good. Go ahead, ma'am. Say he's been clean for 10 years.
Well, okay, if he says so. I can go by there and he'll be running 110 miles an hour all night long and no work's getting done. So.
What type of drugs?
I don't know what he does, but he'll be going 100 miles an hour.
Your Honor,
What was your drug?
I worked for them for about approximately 3 years. They know how I work. I don't know where I was working at daytime. I don't have time in the daytime. I got too many people coming in, asking me questions, want to know about this and that, so I work late. I run a one-man shop.
Plaintiffs James Carter and his wife Wendy are suing their former employee, who they claim is a known drug addict, but the defendant insists he's been clean for 10 years.
You were on crack, wasn't you?
No, sir. No, sir.
What were you on?
No, sir.
What were you on?
I was a methamphetamine user, sir.
Okay, because you're talking a little fast on me today.
Well, sir, I'm nervous, but I went to work for them. About the same
Now,
time
when
I
you're
got clean.
nervous, you stutter.
Sir, I went to work for them about the same
Don't
time.
start stuttering now, trying to prove that you're nervous.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me allow them to finish, and then I'll get back to you.
He did work for me. We owned and operated the business from 2001 to 2008. He worked for me from 2005 till 2008 when he decided to leave and go to another shop. And there, I believe he got on drugs again after that. But when he worked for me, as long as I stayed on his tail, he worked.
Okay, good. Sir, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No. She's doing a pretty good job.
All right, good enough.
She's always
And
been
what was
boss.
it like? He came in every day?
He came in every day.
Didn't start any mess at work?
No, he worked good when he was there. Just there at the end, he started slacking off and missing, and he decided to go somewhere else. He worked there for a while.
I missed 3 days worth of work in 3 years.
She said you were a good worker.
Said you was a good worker. You were a good worker.
But why'd you run off? You went on a binge?
I had a better job offer
Where?
at another friend of mine's towing company, and I worked there for 7 years.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And you give me any other background you want me to have regarding her and her husband? They've been friends of yours in addition to employers,
Your
or what
Honor,
is it?
James is actually kin to me by marriage, and I've known Wendy since high school. Wendy's always been a witch. You know, I worked for her. I worked in a garage with no heat. You know, they wouldn't let me have heat in the garage. I worked out there 20 degrees and lower with the doors open. There was no heat in the shop.
What else do you find with them as problematic, if at all?
Well, Your Honor, they...
What's up with your buddy, man? Is he your buddy or what? Is he your running
James-
buddy?
James, I've known James for a long time.
All right, give me his deal, because I got little question marks around him right now. What's his deal? What's his deal?
I don't have a problem with James. I don't have a problem with James at all.
You all didn't hang out a lot?
No, not so much. You know, James would come by and collect the rent, pretty much. I mean, that's about it. I mean, as far as the shop.
All right, go ahead. So James is a good guy. She's a good lady. Oh no, you said she was tough lady.
Yes.
That's the best way I'll put it. All right, and yet you stayed there and worked with him. It was a good work experience. What went wrong?
I just got tired of being badgered by Wendy. I mean, you know, I had to write him a receipt every time I got paid. Every time I pick up a paycheck, I had to write them a business receipt.
When she pay you?
When she paid me, I had to write.
want one.
I had to write them a receipt. They didn't
What
have
was
check
wrong with
stub.
that?
They didn't issue a check or check stub. I actually had to write a receipt out of my receipt book. It was Rob's auto disrepair.
Did you turn that into the IRS?
Yeah.
We paid you every Friday. Every Friday. You never waited for your pay, not one time.
You should have wanted a record, sir, in case, like she said, IRS come for you. They want to audit you.
Wendy is big about getting receipts, but Wendy won't write you a receipt.
You ever given her anything to write a receipt for?
Yes, sir, I have.
What?
Rent, electric. Your Honor, I have a document here that was filed that it proves that she's trying to commit fraud.
Let's see what you're talking about. First of all, let me hear from you regarding the bills and rent and what months you're suing him for, ma'am. And was this residential? Because this says commercial. Go ahead, you tell me.
I have electric bills for 11 months that he did not pay.
Tell me about his rental agreement first.
He signed a 6-month lease, which would turn over to a month-to-month lease after that. It was $500 a month. He agreed to pay a $50 late fee when it wasn't paid on time.
And what happened?
And he did not pay. He paid good for the first year.
There was no rental agreement, Your Honor.
What months did he fail to pay? You have a printout or something written down?
Yes.
So did you pay your electric bill all the months you were there?
Yes, sir. I paid my electric bill up until March.
And you
I quit paying rent in March and electric bill in March.
And what about these receipts? Obviously, you have some receipts.
No, sir. They never wrote me a receipt.
And you paid cash each of these months?
Yes, sir, I did.
Directly to her?
Her or James. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
James, did he ever give you any money directly, cash?
Yes, he paid me.
Since July of 2015?
Yes, he has gave me some.
All right. Well, your wife lists months that that has occurred.
He paid rent, not electric.
All right. Well, electric, you haven't received any money, James,
No.
for the electric?
No.
You talking pretty soft there. Ma'am, I don't know what you think. I believe these two are in cahoots from time to time. I believe they're taking a nip together. They might be taking a hit together. But I'm telling you, I know what I'm seeing here now.
No.
I wasn't born yesterday.
Plaintiffs James Carter and his wife Wendy are suing their former employee, who they claim is a known drug addict. But the defendant insists he's been clean for 10 years.
Let's get to the rent, sir. Have you missed any rent?
I stopped paying rent in March
Why?
because the car lift broke down. Without the car lift in the shop, it was useless. That's why I moved out. That's why I moved out.
And this was a garage, obviously,
Yes, sir.
a repair garage?
It is, but
You
he
rented
never.
to him?
Yes, sir.
What was in it?
It's a lift, a tire machine, balancer, and this is the first I've heard of it. Never once has he said that
I
it was
also
broken.
and
why would
the
he
spin balancer lasted the first week, and after it quit, I said something about that. They wouldn't fix it. I went out and bought a bubble balancer to do the tires with myself.
James, do you know of this?
I know of the spin balancer, but I don't know nothing about the lift. This is
the first time
this is
you're
first
hearing
I've
it
heard
also?
of the lift.
That's
When
why.
did you first tell them?
March,
When we demanded
Where were you
rent.
at?
huh? Then when they come by to pick up the rent,
You said there was.
that's the one time
you said the lift was broken,
I told them the lift wouldn't work. Yes, it was unsafe.
and they say you didn't. And so, what has happened since that time? When did you leave?
I left there in May.
All right. So then, why shouldn't you pay March and April? You
Because
stayed in March and
I
April.
couldn't use the facilities. I mean, I couldn't
Ma'am, he
work.
makes a pretty good argument.
That lift is not broken. He's never mentioned that the lift is broken, not one time.
Your Honor, the lift.
But what he hasn't done is paid rent, electric, and late fees.
There was never no agreement on paying any late fees. I don't know where that comes from.
Ma'am, he's
have a
pretty good. I
printout.
gotta
I got a
tell you, other than
printout.
this
So,
lease.
Your-
Let me
Your
look
Honor,
at this.
we-
But
He's pretty deceptive.
Yeah,
He'll make me come 12 times to try to collect. He'll say, "Oh, I'll pay you when this person pays me for this car." Well, evidently he ain't never paid for nothing because I've never gotten paid.
Yeah, you have, Wendy. You know, I don't owe you.
$27.59. That's what you owe me. I have
how
a
much do you owe?
printout.
How much do you think you owe?
I don't think I owe her anything because I moved out because the lift wouldn't work. I don't feel I owe any rent for
And you
that.
paid
month.
every single electric bill.
I say I paid the electric bills.
Every single one.
Yes, sir.
So why do you think your buddy's lying on? He's your man. You say she's she's a bad lady. He's your man. So why do you think he's lying on you? He's your buddy.
Your Honor, she runs the show.
If you don't,
She's the boss. She's the boss. She's the boss. That woman will fight you like a man. I'm telling you.
I bossed you for 3 years and got your butt to work, didn't I?
She will fight you like a man. I'm telling you.
This is true. If you don't pay me, I'm gonna stand up for what is mine, and you owe me.
No, I don't.
Is this his signature, man?
Yes, that's his signature.
You have your license on you today?
Yes, sir, I
Can
sure
I
do.
compare?
I'm not denying it's my signature, but I didn't sign it. That's forged.
Oh, you've seen this?
Yeah, that's forged. Yeah, that was hand delivered to me.
When?
By the sheriff's department.
When? When you were being sued?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what she turned into evidence.
It was hand delivered to you when you signed it that day.
Plaintiffs James Carter and his wife Wendy are suing their former employee, who they claim is a known drug addict, but the defendant insists he's been clean for 10 years.
So you agree, because it does, that this is your signature?
Yes, sir. Sir, I've written probably 3,000 auto inspections, and she still has copies of auto inspections I wrote when I worked for her.
Ma'am, why is this imprint of a card there? Seems as if you did cover something up
Now,
with the signature.
when we signed this agreement, that was the only copy that I had, and he signed it just like that.
Your Honor, I would never sign.
But just
two
explain
Post-it
what it is then. Okay, he signed it like this,
He
but
signed it like that.
explain what it is, the box.
I'm going to.
Okay.
It's a sticky note where it was another tenant's contract, and then we did not have another copy, and he was so in a hurry to get in that business. No, he was in a hurry to get in there that he signed it just like that.
Your Honor, I would not sign my signature on sticky notes.
Did you agree to rent from me or not, Rob?
We had a verbal agreement. Yes, we did.
Okay. Whatever, verbal, written, both. I got both.
No, I did not sign that document.
I don't know who to believe.
Your Honor.
And you have the burden of proving it. And this sticker you put on top of the other person's signature looks a little iffy, ma'am. Who does that?
He would not wait to get a copy of that.
Why was he so anxious?
It was a verbal agreement.
Why was he so anxious?
Why was he so anxious? Because he wanted to get out of the place that he was in, because he thought he could make more money on his own, which evidently he could not, because he cannot. He's
and the
not
only
a
reason this
businessman.
is important is because of the equipment issue. It is typical and standard that someone pays a late fee, so I'm not going to let you get out of that because you didn't verbally agree to a late fee. But the equipment issue is important. But they say you've never complained about the equipment.
Yes, sir, I have.
What type of notice did you give them when you moved? What did you say?
I just moved my stuff and took my stuff and left.
Oh, you didn't give them notice?
No, he did not.
Sir, I mean, I told him for 3 months the lift was broken. I mean, I couldn't stay there. I had to go.
By law, you have to give them notice that the facility is in disrepair and give them an opportunity to repair it. Otherwise, you've abandoned the lease. You did not notify them and give them an opportunity to repair it. She could have come in that next day and repaired the lift had you told her, had you given an opportunity. So you violated your lease when you just left. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Hey, I might be a witch, but when it comes to business, it's business. And you owe me, you should have paid me.
No, ma'am, I didn't. I disagree there.
We tried to give you a chance.
As soon as I get this car out of here, I'm going to pay you tonight. Well, I'll come back the next day, the car's gone, and you're not even at work the next day.